Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another K&E Theater Group Local Spotlight Series. It's going to be a good one today, but before we get into that, I just want to talk about K&E Theater Group and our 2021 season. We're really excited. We did have to cancel our 2020 season, but because of that, we've decided to do a supersized 2021 season, starting with a fundraiser in February and going all the way through Christmas. But because of the pandemic, we do need a little bit of help. So if you are inclined, in the comment section below, there's a PayPal link. If you click on that, you can donate to K&E Theater Group. If you're not on Facebook, you're on IGTV, or you're on our YouTube channel, or you are on Facebook and you're like, you know what, let's do this later. I feel like I have the inspiration to give later. You can go to our website, which is ketg.org, click on support KETG and donate there. Well, I'm really excited about today's guests with an S. I have worked with both of them. I'm so excited to have them on the show. So ladies and gentlemen, may I present Shaun O'Keefe and Tina Sparkle. Hi guys.
Hi.
Bonjour, Eddie.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's, it's a day. A day of the week. Who knows which one? Well, I'm so happy to see you both.
Me too.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
And hello to everybody else.
I know. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We're going to jump right into the interview and give you guys each time to answer the questions. The first question is the same question I ask everybody at the beginning of every interview. It's kind of like our let's get to know our guest. And that is, what is your theatrical timeline? Where did you start in theater? Where are you now? And all the little tidbits in the middle. So let's start with Tina.
Okay, so I actually was a dancer who could sing. I started off in a pre-professional dance school, which was amazing. I had amazing training. I sang in choirs at church. I did a little bit of theater through like grade school and stuff. I think in high school is when I joined a performing arts school where I really got to do more musical theater. I got to do a lot of performing. I got to go to like Europe and Disney World, and I got to do so much, and it was just amazing. And then when I retired from dancing about 10 years ago professionally, I just kind of got back into theater here and there, and I think we just kind of found each other and it worked, so I just kind of keep doing it. So yeah.
That's amazing. Now, what do you do for like your job?
My job has actually nothing to do with theater. I actually work at Mercy Medical Center, and I work in the pharmacy department. So,
Well, thank you for doing what you do,
no problem.
especially now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, Shaun, now what about you?
My theatrical life started in fourth grade. That was the very first time I ever got to be on stage, and that was in a production of The Mikado. And it was a lot of fun. I remember working really hard on it, and I got to play Pooh Bah, who is the Lord High Executioner. And so I got to play my first bad guy in fourth grade. It was great. And I remember working on that show for so long, and we did it, and we only did it in one night, and then the show was done. And I remember being so sad when it was done, because we had just put all this effort into it, and I missed it so much. And I think that's when they got the hooks in me. But I didn't do another show again until middle school. They brought me back, and they used me as Duty in Grease in seventh grade, which was a blast. We had a good time doing that. And I did a couple other shows in high school, Fiddler on the Roof, MAME, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, Guys and Dolls. And then I decided, after basically doing just those few things, that that's what I wanted to do. So I found a college I liked out in the Midwest called Bradley University, and I joined their theater department. And I spent 5 years there, did a bunch of shows, and we focused mainly on plays. I didn't do hardly any musicals in college. We focused specifically on acting, and I got a Bachelor's of Science degree from Bradley University. So we also, we touched on a lot of the technical aspects and the production aspects of running a theater. So it's a pretty well-rounded education. And I had a great time. I met some of the greatest people in the world there, and we stay in touch. But after I got done with Bradley, a bunch of us, a whole conclave from Bradley, moved up to Chicago, and we set up in a bunch of the different neighborhoods, and we all started to try to do theater. I got a job working at Navy Pier as part of a traveling, basically it was a bunch of street performers, and we sang a cappella songs 6 times a day. We did half-hour shows, and then in between we would do street performance stuff, juggling, balloon animals, things like that. And I did that for a bunch of years, about 4 years in Chicago. And then I decided I wanted to try something new. And I had a friend who worked at the Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago, which is a really great theater, really beautiful. And a lot of well-known people came from it. And he said, "Do you want to come work there?" And I was like, "Sure, that'd be great." And so I joined the facilities team there. I didn't do any theater with Steppenwolf, but I was in the right spot. And I met a lot of great people. And my whole Chicago experience was phenomenal. But I ran out of money, and then I decided, well, let's go back home to Connecticut. So I came back to Connecticut and got a job working at in an insurance company. But I had seen a show when I was a junior in high school at the Suffield Players. It was a small playhouse in Suffield. I was like I said, a junior at the time, and the woman I was dating, she had, her father was in it. And I remember going to this little tiny theater in the middle of Suffield and seeing a wonderful production of Death of a Salesman. And I hadn't really done anything but the Navy Pier gig for a long time, same show for a long time, but no other real theater. So I looked them up, and they were doing a production of Arthur Miller's All My Sons. That was about 10 years ago. It was about 2010. And I hooked up with them. I got cast in the show, and it's really been karmic since then. I've been doing a lot of community theater with Suffield, a lot of other shows, and with the Opera House Players, with K&E. We've started to do some things with the Majestic Theater, and yeah, we're just exploring the community and seeing all the opportunities, and it's been a wonderful ride so far.
I love that. I love that. So now you both talked about different theatrical experiences. What has been your favorite performance and why? So Shaun, we'll start with you on this one.
I have a lot of favorite performances for different reasons. I got to do K&E's inaugural show, Sweeney Todd, which was a bucket list item for me, and it will always be right at the very top of my list as a favorite. I got a chance to play Christopher Wren in The Mousetrap at Suffield Players, a role that I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did, but it was a blast. But I think my favorite role goes back to college. We decided in my junior year at Bradley University to tackle this like 6-hour play called The Kentucky Cycle by Robert Schenken. And we decided that we were going to rehearse this show and do scene work and meet the author over a course. It was rehearsed over 6 months, and we rehearsed every night except for Sundays for what felt like forever. And I got to play 4 roles in that. And up until that point in time, I was terrible. And I'm not saying I wasn't terrible after that either, but I can just think back and just be like, oh. And I remember that while we were doing that show, some of the stuff that I was learning in college in these theater classes started to finally kick in. And I started to go, oh, that's what that is. Oh, and that's how I do that. And this is what he meant. And I ended up having 4 roles in that show, and the play spans 200 years. And for 2 of those roles, I was nominated to the American College Theater Festival to perform as an actor. And I didn't get out of the first round at all, but I remember just being so proud and so happy that I finally started to make these discoveries and started to become more skillful as an actor. And so that show, and I think most of my collegiate friends would agree, had touched us in a way that I don't think we ever expected it would. And so that's really my favorite production.
Tina?
So it's kind of hard to find that favorite performance because I got to do as in Marvelous Wondress, and I got to play BJ with the Majestic Theater, which was awesome. I got to play Sylvia with Suffield Players, and an opportunity to play a dog is pretty amazing.
Yes.
But I think my favorite performance was a performance called Tight Pants. It was a play written by someone local, Battelle, and we're doing it at the Majestic. It wasn't a main stage production, but we did do a couple runs of it. And I think the reason why it's my favorite performance is because it was the first time I could really embrace my nationality, which sounds kind of funny because usually it's, I'm too Hispanic to play the white girl, but I'm too white to play the Hispanic girl. And for like once, I was like, wow, I can just be myself and not have to worry about like really anything. And I think also for me, it was an opportunity that kind of like that aha moment that I've been working up, trying to do the straight theater, trying to get away from just being a dancer and just being a singer. And the opportunity to play a lead on an equity stage was just kind of like, it's all coming together. Like I'm kind of getting all of this now, which is great. And I just had some amazing castmates to work with that just kind of, we just molded really well on stage for those really intimate moments. And I think that was just the best.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. Very cool. So now, obviously, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We wouldn't be doing virtual stuff. We'd be in person talking. But what have you been doing to stay creative during the pandemic? So let's start with Tina.
Sure. So we did work on a scene when one of our friends, Josh, wrote some short plays. So we helped promote that, and we worked on that for a little bit, and we did that a couple weeks ago, and we've been working for a song for K&E. And other than that, I think we've just been really enjoying our time away from theater and just kind of enjoying each other and just whatever life has.
That's so sweet.
It is. It's, it really has been nice to take a step back from it for a while. And, absence makes the heart grow fonder, but you can just bury yourself into it so much. And it's even though the circumstances in the world are not perfect right now, it has been a nice reprieve to take a break from theater and reflect at how much it means to us, so that when we get back to it, it's probably going to mean so much more.
I've noticed that as well. I have noticed that, at times you're like, oh, I gotta go to rehearsal, but then you're like, what I wouldn't give to go to rehearsal.
But I'm also working right now with Suffield Players again on a small project. They're trying to create a virtual theater project through Zoom to keep people engaged. And we have so many people that send work into Suffield Players as part of what they usually do in their summer slot, which is a New Faces program. And so we have this plethora of short scenes and plays that have just been fed into us, and we're looking for an outlet to expose them, to send them out to the world. I mean, people are sending them into us, and a lot of them are very good. And we thought that this would be a great, this virtual theater would be a great way to get some of that work out there.
Is there a website for the Suffield Players so that people can keep in contact with what's going on with them?
They SuffieldPlayers.org.
And also they're on Facebook as well, correct?
They are on Facebook as well.
Perfect. So watch for that, everybody, because that's going to be coming from the Suffield Players. So that's exciting. So this is a relatively new question for our interviews, but I think it's such a good one. What motivates you? So let's start with Shaun with this.
For me, I love doing the shows now to find little nuances in my acting that I hadn't discovered before. I love the little gains that every character brings. And, with K&E's last production of Assassins, I got to play the proprietor, which it gave me the opportunity to be a role that I had never been before. And you and I worked so closely together as the director and the actor to basically build that character from scratch in the image that you wanted. And it was a blast. I mean, I got to use physical comedy and move and do clowning and almost like mask work in that role that I hadn't used in a long time. And it was so wonderful to get a chance to stretch those muscles and use that. And I think that that's what it is every new role gives you an opportunity to pull something out of your bag of tricks and hone it. And I like that about every play and every opportunity and every character I get. There's just that one little thing that I've never done before that I get a chance to try out. And that's really what motivates me to keep going, because I love finding that stuff.
Awesome. Tina?
I would have to agree with Shaun. There's something about like what drives me, what motivates me, just that desire to want to learn, to want to grow, to just kind of keep on pushing myself to new levels, I guess. I mean, when I got to play a dog, like I don't know how to be a dog, but it was fun to just kind of watch and see, and then be able to kind of embrace that physicality of being a dog. And just
she got all method on the dog.
I got method.
She got all method.
I got totally method. Like I'm watching like YouTube videos, like it's nobody's business, right? Like I'm watching them, like like scratch the ears, and I'm literally trying with like my leg, trying to scratch it.
Oh my God.
It's crazy, but I loved it. It was so much fun. So yeah, I think it's just finding that desire to keep on wanting to grow and keep on pushing myself to just kind of see where it can take me next, because who knows? But
you never know.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that you both like talked about the same thing. I love that. What I also love is hearing you sing.
Yay!
So can you give us an introduction to your song?
Okay, so we picked a song called Fine from Ordinary Days. It is by Adam Guan, I believe it is. And up until we decided to do this project, we had no idea what it was. We decided that for COVID, we wanted to pick a project, something we had never seen before, nothing ever done. And so we looked through the internet for a little bit, and we found this little ditty, which we really loved. And we hope you liked it. It made us laugh. We hope
hopefully it'll make you laugh too.
Well, we're very excited to hear it.
Thank
So
you.
here is Shaun O'Keefe and Tina Sparkle singing Fine from Ordinary Days.
It started with the wine.
The wine.
The wine! We were shopping for a bottle to bring to a cousin's soiree.
My cousin's a sous chef, she's very gourmet.
I grabbed my favorite Cabernet.
He's got no clue, and so I say, darling, the wine.
The wine?
The wine is serving monkfish, so darling, the wine can't be red. How about this Austrian Riesling instead?
Honey, you know I don't like the Riesling. When have you ever seen me drink Riesling?
Never, but can't you listen this once? Red wine and fish, you look like a dunce.
Fine, I'll bring the red, you bring the white. That way I'll still get drunk, you'll still be right.
Fine. And then there was the cab. The cab was stuck in traffic in the middle of Broadway. 10 minutes we wait.
We're 12 blocks away and we're already late.
I point out there'd be no delay if we would just turn that way.
Honey, the cab.
The cab.
The cab was pointed squarely down Broadway. I know you're concerned, but your cousin's on Broadway, so why have we turned?
Darling, I know my cousin's on Broadway, but there was lots of traffic on Broadway.
Surely, but now in my own defense, we're farther away, which doesn't make sense.
Fine, drive here, please stop here if you would. I think walking would do us both some good.
Fine.
We don't say anything as we're walking down Broadway.
It's like I'm walking next to a stranger. I've had that feeling more and more, like I don't even know her. But right now it's cold and we're still in a hurry.
I'm not gonna stop and I'm not gonna worry.
We'll be fine, fine, fine. rain.
My hair starts to drip, my shoes are a mess, my bag's getting wet, and so is my dress.
I love the rain, how everything
The
shines.
wind's picking up, we've got no
It
umbrella.
dots her hair like morning dew. And suddenly I start to think of the day that I first met her. A bucket of snow had landed in her hair. I picture her shake the snowflakes off her shoulders, and somehow I want to get us back to there. I want her to know that I can't bear to spend a single day without her. But how could she know? How could she know?
Shit, ow, my shoe, my shoe, my shoe. Damn it, this is really fantastic. No, really absurd. And what? You just stand there and don't say a word. Fine, I'm gonna go. We're late for my cousin. God helps the soul who's late for my cousin. You can stay put here out in the rain, but don't leave it up for me to explain. Give me the wine, don't take all day. Fine, then bring it yourself. Your cabernet. Jesus.
Shut up, Claire, and marry me.
Fine. What?
That was so good.
Oh, thank you so much. It was fun. It was really.
It was fun.
It was so fun. So
No,
fun.
we had a
We had a
blast
ball.
working on it, and just kind of coming up with the nuances of.
We haven't
we could
really
say.
had a lot of opportunity to do things together on stage, and so honestly, I think this is the first like duet we've worked on
Yeah, I
together
think so. Yeah.
ever in probably as
Life.
long as we've been married. So it was a blast, and thank you for giving us the opportunity
Yes.
to have this experience together.
Well, thank you for doing it. So now you're married, duh. So you met in theater.
We did.
Can you guys tell us that story?
Do you want to start, because
Sure, I'll start.
it makes
So-
more sense?
So I was working with Broadbrook, with the theater over the years and stuff during musicals, and they were going to be holding auditions for Company, one of the musicals. And at the time, I actually had no intention of auditioning for the show, merely for the sake of I was heading back to be with my family back in the Boston area, and it just seemed kind of like crazy to try to do a show and everything. But the need was there to have people audition. So then I decided, all right, if I'm going to do this show, I want the specific part to make it like all worthwhile. So we had the auditions, we had callbacks. At that point, I had seen Shaun, and Broadbrook is one of those places where you kind of know everybody. So when someone new that comes on the territory, for lack of a better word, everyone's like, who's that? And that's basically what happened. I heard him sing, and I was like, I have to know this guy. I don't care what part I get. I don't care the fact that I'm driving 2 hours for rehearsal. I just hope he gets in and I get in, and we are going to do the show. Boom.
That's it. Shaun,
That's
do
it.
you have anything to add to that?
You know, what's funny is the way she says it, she was almost not going to do the show. I didn't audition for the show. My friend Steve Wanzi got cast as the role of Bobby in it, and he gave me a call and he said, would you mind coming out? We're having a tough time getting guys to show up. And I'm like, it's a Sondheim piece. Sure, why not? Let's go. And so I went in and I went to the callbacks, and I sang a little bit, and ended up getting cast in that show. I'm bad. I didn't notice her right at the first. It wasn't until we were in a dance rehearsal, about 3 rehearsals in, which yours truly did choreograph and did a
Yes.
phenomenal job.
I know. Who was
This
that?
was the show that I not only did I meet my future wife, but I met Eddie and Paul DeProto, also a K&E board member, a lot of people. And this was my first show at Broadbrook. So anyway, we were having a dance rehearsal, and my scene partner was out for the day, and they needed to hook me up with somebody. So I got the dance captain when you were in New York, is it at the time, or Florida?
It was New York or Boston?
It was in another. You were in another place. And she was holding down the fort, and she got to get paired up with me. And I'm not a great dancer, and here I am hooked up with the dance captain, and I'm scared to death. But we had a phenomenal little conversation that led to a couple of other encounters. And after some bad flirting, we decided to go out on a date, and the rest is history.
Magic. Look at Sondheim bringing people together.
I know.
Bringing us together.
So now, are there any other shows that you guys have done together other than Company?
Let's see. We did.
Well, we did Annie together.
That's right. We did do Annie. We were never in the same. We weren't counterparts. I was kind of like ensemble and like a little bit of a lead singer here and there, and
I was playing Rooster in that one.
right. So, but we did do that together. So it was nice to have tech together, and
Yeah, to be in the same process together,
Yes, if you will.
which hasn't happened a lot. And
No.
5 women wearing the same dress
Yeah.
and Suffield players. That was the first time we had one
line.
line
One
we
line.
exchanged with each other. And I think to date, that is the only exchange we've ever had
Yes.
personally with one another as characters on
On
stage.
stage.
It still holds as the one line that we've ever spoken to
Oh, well,
one
now we
another.
did a song. So.
Oh, we did the song now.
So now we
Uh,
did.
and hopefully once we in the future we'll be able to finally have more interaction with one another.
That's true. And you guys are doing a show at the Majestic.
Yes, we are both right now casted in 9 to 5. So again, we're not playing counterparts per se, but it's just another opportunity to be a part of the process together. And
Yeah, we're excited about
It'll be
that
good.
one. That should
We'll
be a
see
great
each
show
other.
when it goes up after all of this is done.
yes.
Right. All right, so we're going to play a quick game.
Okay.
Super quick. I'm going to throw a show at you. You're going to tell me the first word or phrase that pops into your head.
Okay.
Okay.
All right?
No.
Let's
Okay.
start. We're going to switch off. Let's
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
and then Tina, and then Tina, then Shaun.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Yes.
A chorus line.
God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it.
Tights.
Oklahoma.
Okay. L-A-H-O. I can't even spell it. Oklahoma.
80 Annie is loose.
Phantom of the Opera.
Oh.
Chandelier. There you go. Chandelier. That's
Yeah.
Honestly,
go with
what
that.
popped into my head was Wear Your Mask.
Oh, good
Oh,
one.
right? Songs for a New World.
Ooh. I'm Not Afraid. I love that song.
Me too.
'Cause I don't necessarily know the whole musical, but I do love that song.
David Weber.
Hamilton.
I don't know. Haven't watched it.
Plead the fifth.
Next to Normal.
The prescription song.
Yes, the description.
Yes.
My
Like a
psychologist and I.
Yes.
Something like
Yeah,
Psychopharmacist.
Psychopharmacist and I. I should know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Last one. Company.
Bobby, baby, Bobby, Bobby,
Bobby, baby, Bobby.
Bobby, Bobby. That's not really a thing. That's
It's not
just
really
kind of
a
a
thing.
noise from the show.
Because we heard
Um,
it. Bobby, 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 baby, Bobby, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite is I thought the first thing would be like, my wife.
Yes.
Yep, nope.
Today is for Amy.
I love you both so much.
I love you.
All right. Okay, let's start with Tina. This
Okay.
is the last fun question.
Okay.
Give me 2 dream roles.
2 dream roles. Well, I know I would die if I ever had the opportunity to play Millie in Thoroughly Modern Millie, because that'd be an opportunity to be a triple threat. That's
Great.
pretty cool. And in terms of other one, I don't know if I have specifically another character, but just anything. Something that I have never done before in my entire life, like a really super serious dark show, or I don't know if I want to play Psycho Killer, but I mean, I tend to go towards more the comedy kind of stuff. So it'd be kind of nice to just do something that's so on the opposite end of the spectrum for me.
Is for a play? I love Tom Stoppard, and it has always been my dream to be in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. I would love to play either of the two title characters. That show is just, it is one of my favorites. I love the way that it is written. I love the humor. I love that show. And hopefully one day I get a chance to do that one. For musicals, you gave me the opportunity to do Sweeney Todd, which was really, that would have been my easy answer. But now that that's done, I don't know why I want to do this. I really want to play Audrey too in Little Shop of Horror. I really want to be the plant. I just think that it's one of those, again, it's one of those roles that it's just a different kind of beast. You got a puppeteering and the music, and I just thought, wow, that's another one of those strange roles that I've never really had a chance to do, and I would love to try that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys the last question. It's the question I ask everybody at the end of every interview. It's probably my favorite question, and that is, what draws you to live theater, to live performance? So let's start with Shaun.
You know, I think it starts back with that first feeling I got in fourth grade, where it was, you don't realize the power of what theater has until you've done it and you've had an audience respond to what you have done. There's a lot of power in that energy that comes from a live audience that is almost like a shot of adrenaline. And basically, I'm answering your question by saying I'm a drug fiend, but I love doing theater, and I love impacting an audience, and I love that feeling that they give me back when you know you've hit a moment, when you've done something that only happens in live theater, and you get that true reaction from the audience, and it's just wonderful. I love that. And that's what draws me to theater, is that audience interaction with the actual people on stage, and that symbiotic relationship that you form between actor and audience. And that's what draws me to keep doing it. And I love it.
You know?
I would say the exact same thing. There's something really organic. Even if you do a same show, 12 times or 57 times, every single show is going to be different. You're going to have a different audience. You're going to have different reactions depending on how a character may say like a line slightly different. And there's that connection that you feel from your castmates, from the audience, just that, I guess just the organicness of it all. It's just, you just want more, I guess.
It's like that vibe that they send you and that you get back,
Yeah.
I totally get that. Well, thank you guys so much. This was wonderful.
Our pleasure.
You guys are so great. And I love you. I can't wait to see you in person, and I can't wait to see you on stage at the Majestic in 9 to 5. But thank you again for joining us tonight.
Oh,
thank you
our
so much.
pleasure. Thank you for giving us something to do in this wonderful time.
Yes.
And it was lovely to see you as always.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody.
You.
Love you guys.
Love
Bye.
you.
Tina Sparkle and Shaun O'Keefe. Wonderful, wonderful. Love them. So that's the end of our Local Spotlight series today. Really quickly before we go, again, if you are inclined to donate to K&E Theater Group to help us with our supersized 2021 season, there is a PayPal link in the comments section below on Facebook. You can click on that and you can donate that way. If you're not on Facebook, you're on IGTV or YouTube, or you're on Facebook and would like to donate later, you can always go to our website, which is ketg.org, click on Support KETG, and donate there. While there, you can sign up for our newsletter. You can also check out our season and watch old Local Spotlight videos from the beginning. So that's exciting. We just added those. I'm really happy about that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you at the next Local Spotlight series interview.